Last Saturday, FC Cincinnati battled Nemesis Nashville, surviving round one of the playoffs. Goalkeeper Spencer Ritchie gave up a goal late, but it went to penalties, and a miss by Nashville set up a memorable make by Kenny Walker. Step 2 towards the ultimate goal is next. It feels like late October in the Queen City as today the Eastern Conference semifinals land in Cincinnati, Ohio. Good afternoon and welcome to Nippert Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati, where the supporters have arrived by the thousand and just about set for FC Cincinnati and New York Red Bulls 2. We welcome you inside of the broadcast booth. Tom Glader, thrilled to be alongside All-American and my broadcast partner, Kevin McCloskey. Boy, did we have fun here last Saturday at Nippert Stadium. A penalty kick shootout win for the Orange and Blue, but a goal in extra time from Corbin Bone. And number 19, it feels like just keeps getting better week after week.
I think it's been the best year in his professional career. Honestly, I think for him, he's making a habit of this, Tommy. Coming up big, it's the right time. Certainly entertaining the fans here at Nippert, and he's been a key player, and hopefully the difference again tonight.
Double-digit scoring effort in 2018, and another memorable moment for number 19 the last Saturday with the goal against Nashville. Gave the Orange and Blue a 1-0 lead. 2 wins this season for FC Cincinnati and 2-1 each time against the Baby Bulls. You see a big battle today in the midfield between Tyler Gibson and Chris Lima.
Especially both teams are going to play 3 central players, Tom, and I think for Tyler Gibson, he's certainly going to be that anchor. I think for Chris Lima and his New York team, he's going to be the attacking spark in there. It's going to be very physical, very intense in that middle, and hopefully Tyler can be the difference.
Very similar styles with these two clubs. Should be a lot of scoring opportunities. It'll be the 7th and final meeting between FC Cincinnati and the Baby Bulls. Same 11 for Alan Cox. We'll show you the lineups and give you the first touch next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
Where's my hello? Ooh, Dave.
There you go, Kev. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Mountain Dew Kickstart. Now available in 12 flavors. It all starts with a kick. Mountain Dew Kickstart. Back at Nippert Stadium, where the officials and each side has taken the pitch for tonight's match. FC Cincinnati and New York Red Bulls 2, the 7th meeting between these two squads. Tom Glader and Kevin McCloskey with you, and it's time now to take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by Toyota. And no changes for Alan Cox. Fernando Adi up top. Spencer Ritchie will be in goal. The exact same 11 as he started last Saturday, but a change in formation as he goes with a 4-2-3-1 to counter what New York Red Bulls 2 will put out in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Tom Barlow up top. It's actually the same starting 11 for New York that they started last week, advancing in the playoffs with a 1-0 victory at Charleston, going on the road and advancing in the playoffs. Of course, this is a club that 2 years ago won the USL Championship. The third member of our broadcast team is Lindsey Patterson. Let's go down to the pitch and check in. Can't hear a thing. All right, they're just about set to go. You see New York settled in. FC Cincinnati will get the first touch in their primary kits. Orange and blue stripes. New York with white tops, red shorts, and white socks. Tonight's match official is Tim Ford. It's the second time this season FC Cincinnati sees Ford. They had him in the regular season finale against Indy on September 29th. We are underway. Playoff soccer for the second consecutive Saturday in the Queen City. A throw-in on the far side for New York, who will work towards the Bailey in the first half. Of course, the PKs, the thrilling finish last Saturday took place at the opposite end to the broadcast right. New York on the attack. They are a team that'll press. So you know they're going to come out, Kevin, and come right after FC Cincinnati.
They're certainly going to press. I think defensively, I think on the attacking end, they're going to be very direct, trying to play very aggressively and take it to FC Cincinnati right from the start. Can you hear me okay?
Spencer Ritchie will send it out into the midfield right in front of New York's bench. And now New York taps it back in the direction of goalkeeper.
Can you hear me okay?
Evan Loro.
I'm going back to play-by-play.
Right.
New York across the midfield, inside of that mid-circle. Now Paddy Barrett wearing the captain's armband again today. Alan Cox sticking with Barrett and Lasso as his center backs, Kevin, a combination that is 10-0-3 together so far this season.
Very impressive, and we talked about it in the preview too. You know, the competition in those specific positions as well. You've got Declan Keenan in there, you've got Sam DeVitt as well, and just, you know, the options to pick each week between each, you know, either of those four players certainly is a luxury, and I think it's spurred on this partnership. They've been so impressive the last few weeks.
Barlow looking for a touch right in front of Spencer Ritchie. It skips wide and will be a goal kick for Ritchie, who now on the season has made 16 starts for Alan Cox. He started the last time these two teams met back on July 21st.
Are we sure it's not a routing issue downstairs?
Adi into the middle. Endom. Alashe. And back to Lasso. Smith in the middle. Forward and his touch heavy in the direction of Al-Badawi.
You can kind of see already, Tommy, just the pressure the Red Bulls do bring to this game. This energy as well, I think, for FC Cincinnati. They're getting caught up a little bit in that. I think the key for them is to try to dictate the pace of the game. If there's any times that they can kind of slow down and take the wind out of New York's pressure and energy, I think they're going to try to do that.
Cutler forward to the foot of Moreno. 10 goals this season for Moreno, tied for the team high with Brian White. White not dressed today for New York, presumably with the Major League Soccer side, who has an opportunity to win a supporter shield if things fall their way, if they're able to win tomorrow on the final day of the Major League Soccer regular season. Al-Badawi forward. Adi is offside. Flag is up on the near touch. That brought an early roar from the fans here at Nippert Stadium, and a great-looking idea for FC Cincinnati. The timing was just off.
Yeah, just off, and you know, there wasn't much in that. I think Adi had done well just to kind of delay and then check off just to try to get into that space behind. Good through pass by Nazmi. It's another chance for New York again. They move the ball so quickly, so aggressive in attack. Not much slow build-up with this team.
Adi on the right side, working up the near touch, taken down after he got into the final third. A good tackle there by Nadam, the defender from Cameroon.
I think set pieces today, especially corner kicks, I think for FC Cincinnati, I think you're going to find an advantage height-wise. I think FC Cincinnati have the upper hand.
Well, an early opportunity here for the orange and blue. 16 assists this season for Manu Ledesma. He'll take the corner kick from the near side.
Just interesting. Seeing this over. Yeah, Barlow coming across here. He knows that Ledesma's watched him. He tries to whip the ball into the front post. Having a player that close makes it a little bit harder to whip around him. He's trying to get into that passing lane almost.
Ledesma on the corner kick. Adi and Barrett were there, didn't get a piece of it. New York cleared it. Gibson sent it back. Al-Badawi whiffs, and it bounces up and catches his hand. So the whistle will blow, but what a look there for Nazmi. He's not going to miss on that one very often.
I mean, like you said, a swing and a miss. I think he had a lot of time. He probably could have taken a first touch. I think he realized the space that he had in front. But New York, again, not wasting any time getting forward. This is what they do. This is their MO.
Lasso will head it away as the ball was looking to be crossed by New York. Goes behind the goal. And just as quick as FC Cincinnati had that first scoring opportunity, down to our right, New York races down to the left. With that press, they're going to move in transition, and they set up a corner kick at the other end.
Yeah, I think you talked about transition. That's what they do. Attacking transition for New York is so important. It's what they do very well. Obviously, the flip side of that, defensively, as soon as they lose the ball, they're in a position to press. This will be the first chance here to put FC Cincinnati under pressure.
Gibson has other plans, heading it back into the midfield. Nice job there by Tyler. Interesting, 3 of the 10 outfielders for Alan Cox today did not play against New York this season. Tyler Gibson was hurt, not eligible on July 21st. Shot taken there, ripped from the right side by Moreno. Great job defensively. Tyler Gibson's shaken up. After that last play, he was slow to his feet, still trying to catch his breath, and Aaron Powell's going to be called out onto the pitch as Tyler takes an early knock.
I think he took 2 knocks in a row. That last one, he just caught with the ball, the force of the ball. You look at hit in the stomach. He's all right. He's in a little bit of pain.
I think maybe, if anything, maybe he just needs to catch his breath. Kenny Walker, in the meantime, raced out from FC Cincinnati's dugout to get loose down to our left.
I think he's fine. I think he's just winded. You see this ball coming across here. Came off of Forrest on that one.
Yeah, it was the play before.
Just saw Tyler, in the side of the screen. Maybe taking a knock.
Yeah, I think on the corner kick. He was slow to his feet after that. I noticed he was back after setting into the midfield in FC Cincinnati trying to advance the ball.
And he had that initial clearance, if you remember, with the header.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just didn't catch the ball right and getting a little bit of pain. He's back up on his feet, though.
Aaron Powell will let him carry on. There's the corner kick.
I think it's one of those things, too, when you're heading the ball, you want to hit the front, your forehead. He kind of catches on the back and might have jammed his neck a little bit.
Aaron Powell's going to have an extended conversation because Aaron came out. Now Tyler has to jog off to the touchline and await the signal to return, but it appears as though Aaron Powell has cleared him to carry on.
Well, FC Cincinnati, and we thought about this, Tommy. We kind of predicted this, that New York would come out. They'd start fast. They'd put them under pressure. The first 10, 15 minutes are always important of any game. I think FC Cincinnati have to get up to speed here quickly.
Throwing inside of the attacking third for New York. Well defended and cleared away. Corbin Bone into the midfield. Sent back by the Baby Bulls.
Now Gibson trying to get into the midfield. New York regains composure and will continue on the attack. Nadam. Oh, over to Yanes.
Yes.
Adi. Back to Barrett. Ledesma across the middle of the pitch. Nobody there in orange and blue. New York gets it back. Hoyt unable to get it away from Stroud. Stroud, a talented youngster, 22 years of age. It's interesting when you look at the ages today, and that ball goes out near touchline. Aguinaga, the midfielder, 5'9" from Spain, wasn't able to keep it in. And FC Cincinnati will throw it in, trying to get away from their defensive third. See Kenny Walker there continues to warm up.
It's a great point, though, that you bring up about the difference in age. I think for FC Cincinnati, again, I think that should be a benefit to them, an advantage to them. You know, you're hoping that experience kicks in with that.
Forrest Lasso, the youngest starter for Alan Cox today. He's 25 years old. The oldest starter for New York is 23.
The flip side, there is a flip side to this, of course.
Yep.
These New York players, young and hungry, obviously within the system, they're trying to impress, you know, potentially get MLS contracts and get up into that first team. And it certainly shows just how this team plays, and really, it's the style of play of every New York team.
Adi was giving chase. It got to Evan Loro first. Now a throw in on the near touch. Hoyt will come over to take it. And what I was talking about before was the three players, Alashe, Adi, and Tyler Gibson, and then New York was on the attack, so I had to stop my thought. But none of those three played against New York this year, and they're in the starting lineup today. Alan Koch said he didn't really make much of that. Do you see that as any advantage for those three, that New York hadn't seen them in live action?
I think, you know, by this stage as well, when you talk about Adi, yes, maybe a little bit of a difference for him because he's such a different target player. You know, Gibson and Alashe, the two central midfield players, I think they're going to be able to scout and kind of handle. The three central players for New York, too, I think they're pretty talented. So that kind of evens itself out a little bit. With Adi, though, it is a little bit different. It provides different service from FC Cincinnati, how they're going to find their target player in open play. You know, he's a big threat early as well. You know, he's one of those guys, but they can receive to feed. So I think for the center backs, you know, for Nadama and Politz today, I think they're going to have their hands full.
Oh, but Awi cleared out there on the tackle by Chris Lima, who we featured in the pregame. 1 goal, 5 assists this year for Lima, the midfielder out of Ridgefield, New Jersey. There you see Alan Koch as Manuel Ledesma will spot this up. Since Alan Koch took over, FC Cincinnati 6-2-3 in elimination games. And they've advanced in 8 of the 11 games.
Pretty impressive.
Absolutely. That includes U.S. Open Cup, of course, and last week's playoff advancement here at Nippert. Ledesma from just across midfield will send it in. Bard and Lasso are there towards the far post. Ledesma sends it. Deflected away before it got to Potty Barrett. FC Cincinnati trying to regroup defensively. 1-on-3 opportunity here. And slowed down by Moreno. He waits for help. Now Moreno will take a shot. And New York strikes first. A 12th minute goal by Armando Moreno. And the Baby Bulls lead on the road.
Well, we talked about it in the open stages of this game. How threatening and just they attack with so much conviction, Tommy, just on the counter-attack. Moreno actually selfishly decides to shoot. Ends up being the right decision. And again, something that's not very surprising when you look at this New York team and how they attack.
Well, I mentioned that he was going to wait for help, and he looked up and saw 2 white jerseys coming up each wing, but then he saw he had some space, and he made, like you said, made the right decision.
It's one of those ones when if it doesn't go in, the 2 players supporting him probably had the better angle. They're probably screaming at him, but I guess the rest is history. The ball went in, and New York lead.
Oh, it was Barlow who scored early last week at Charleston for New York in the 21st minute. That gave the Baby Bulls a 1-0 advantage and was the final tally as they advanced to come here to Cincinnati. And now this week it's Moreno with the goal. And FC Cincinnati trails for just the 8th time in the last 25 matches. Remember, it was a back-and-forth game when these two teams played, with 3 goals in the first 36 minutes back on July 21st. And I'd imagine we're going to see scoring opportunities for both teams the rest of the way.
100%. I think for New York, too, like I said, it's not surprising. We know how they play. They're going to be very offensive-minded, very aggressive. You know, they're definitely going to score goals. I think the biggest thing, again, is are FC Cincinnati ready for this game? Right? In the first 15 minutes, or first 13 minutes, sorry, I think FC Cincinnati have just had a bit of a slow start. I think they've got to get up to speed, but at the same time, not getting caught into how New York play. They've got to play their own game, Tommy. They've got to be able to settle, get numbers forward, play in the patterns that they're used to, and really try to get a stranglehold on this game.
Well, one thing we know about New York, they're not going to sit back and park the bus after
chance.
taking a 1-0 lead in the 12th minute. Plenty of clubs that will do that. One of them was eliminated, Pittsburgh, last weekend in 8 rounds of penalty kicks. Tyler Gibson's taken down in the midfield. It'll be a free kick for FC Cincinnati. Like I said, both teams going to keep playing their game. Lots of time left.
Tons of time, and like I said, they've just got to get into the game. You know, they've got to make sure that they keep the ball maybe more than 5 or 6 passes and get into a rhythm.
Bard will try to get that movement started. Up the left side to Blake Smith. Smith across the middle, nothing there. Nadam out into the midfield. Lasso tied up and called for the foul.
Tom Barlow again,
Yeah.
guy with a ton of pace. He's certainly going to test Paddy Barrett and Forrest Lasso today. I think he's one of those young players you talk about fighting for a contract. He's a guy that's been impressive all season long. Seem to think he's got MLS pedigree in him.
Well, we've talked about it before. New York is a franchise that's very much, their 2 team is developing players to prepare for Major League Soccer. If you get to 23, 24 years of age and they don't feel that you're in the plans, they move you. You'll move to another USL team, or you'll be released and maybe get an opportunity elsewhere. But they're not going to hold on to guys that they don't think are going to contribute in the very near future.
And so far it's worked.
Yeah, like I said earlier, their MLS team is on the cusp. With Atlanta, if they do not win tomorrow, and New York able to win, then the MLS team would win the Supporter Shield. So the formula is working out.
And I think if you look at kind of consistency with the last 4 years of New York too, and just how steady they are, and it's club-wide, it's with their academy as well. They have a system that works for them. They have an identity that represents their club, and they execute it so well.
Right now, they're in control, leading on the road 1-0. A team that just went 2-5-10 during the regular season away from home. They're very good when playing at home in New Jersey. Ball rolls out on the far touchline, and they're a team that's determined to come in. They know FC Cincinnati's 24-match unbeaten streak began June 2nd in their house.
This experience, like I said, you know, kind of moments ago for FC Cincinnati, has to show up. They've got to get this young team chasing. Younger guys maybe a little bit naive. It's a great ball by Paddy Barrett.
Adi gets it top of the 18. First touch doesn't fall to him. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by Frisch's. Lasso was trying to get a long ball to Adi. Nadam got there first. Smith chasing in the midfield. Hoyt with some room to work on the right side to Ledesma. Manu is taken down, draws the foul. Alan Giannis, the 5'11" defender, got a piece of him. Here's a look at the foul, Kevin.
A little bit of contact. I think, you know, if anything, maybe the ref was looking to try to play advantage. I think for FC Cincinnati, they'd rather have this free kick in a dangerous area with this guy standing over it.
'18th minute at Nippert Stadium, New York leading 1-0. Ledesma has his spot marked. The big targets moving forward inside of the 18, just beyond the spot. Evan Laurel, the 22-year-old goalkeeper, sets up his defense. Here's the service from Ledesma. Nearly went towards that far post in the upper 90, and it sailed just wide of the frame.
I wonder was that intentional too? Just looking at the goalkeeper, Laurel, he's kind of high on that. He was at the top of his 6 when he struck this. You see him just kind of recovering, stepping back here, backpedaling. I wouldn't be surprised if Manu meant that.
Laurel, a Red Bulls youth, Signed a homegrown contract with the club on January 23rd of 2017. Has yet to make an MLS appearance and might be a while. New York has Major League Soccer's Iron Man in Luis Robles. Hasn't missed a match in a long while and may not for a while, so it's a tough position to crack into with the club. Adi across midfield, left to right. Has Corbin Bone in front of him and just missed finding Bone, who had the goal 1 week ago against Nashville.
They've just got to improve possession. They've got to make this feel as big as possible. And anytime that they're giving New York the ball back again, they're feeding into what they're good at. Transitional moments. They can create some width here. Play the space in behind just like Paddy's done.
Barrett just found Ledesma up the right side. Manu across the middle, headed away just before it got to Fernando Adi. Alache crashing in, trying to keep it alive. As New York retreating, and then it finally comes off of Alache. It'll be a throw-in for New York. But a nice job defensively on that previous run to keep the ball from getting to Adi. Here's a look at that ball from Ledesma. FC Cincinnati wins it back. Fans anxious for an early goal from the orange and blue to equalize the match. Al-Badawi backed into a corner, 2 on. New York will end up clearing it on the touch, and Hoyt will throw it in deep inside of the attacking third. Ledesma let that ball roll through. And a goal kick for New York. Baby Bulls 13-8-13 during the regular season. That was good enough for the 5 seed in a trip to Charleston last week where they won 1-0. They've been on a roll as of late, 7 straight unbeaten, 4-0-3 during that stretch. Haven't lost since September 5th at Indy 11. Here's Moreno, who scored the goal, the difference in the match right now. Slides it out wide to the right, Cutler. Cutler into the middle, back to Moreno, comes off his foot, then back to Cutler. Over to Stroud. Stroud with a left-footed shot. Spencer Ritchie dives to his right and makes the stop.
It's a great save too. Not only does he save it, but he holds on to it.
Maybe it looked like it took a little bit of a bounce as it came onto his hands.
And again, Tom Barlow was a player that's sniffing around that loose ball. It was very good technique by Spencer just to hold on to it. Here's the strike again, and just the first, it spills a little bit, but good technique just to swallow it up.
Ritchie comes into this match a 1.26 goals against average, has saved 68% of the shots this season. Corbin Bone will pick up a wide pass by New York, and FC Cincinnati will try to get something going in transition. Oh, Badawi knocks it forward. Bone is onside, and the flag goes up late. No, he's not.
Yeah.
A chorus of boos rained down on the match official, as well as the linesman on the near side. And I think he was off.
Yeah, you'll just see this deflection here that comes off and noses his foot. He's in an offside position. And you can kind of argue, was that pass intentional? But regardless, you know, the starting position is offside, and I think the referee and the linesman gets that right.
Midway point of the first half here at Nippert Stadium, second round of the 2018 USL playoffs. Tom Glader, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, happy to be with you. FC Cincinnati trailing by a goal, hoping to advance and host again Friday night against Louisville or Bethlehem Steel. They'll play tonight at 7:30 down the road at Louisville. If New York were to win today and Louisville were to win, then New York would head to play Louisville. If New York were to win and Bethlehem were to pull off an upset, then New York would host Bethlehem Steel next weekend. FC Cincinnati knows as long as they're in the playoffs, they're hosting here at Nippert Stadium, where they are 12, or they went 12-2-3 in the regular season and advanced last week in penalties. Blake Smith loses it, far touch. Agi Naga will work in the midfield with some room. Aguinaga slides it out wide to the left. Giannis. Giannis with Ledesma trailing. Has it knocked away by Manu, and a corner kick for New York.
That's good defensive play by Ledesma too. Doesn't give up on it. Continues to stay on his feet. Times his tackle well just to get that touch.
Corner kick brought to you by the Levy Law Offices will come in the 25th minute. From the near side to the right of Spencer Ritchie. Tenari will take it. Leads the team in appearances and starts.
You get a chance at next set piece, next corner kick. I want to just show the center back how aggressive they are.
To the far post in the direction of Aguinaga. He pushes it out on the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for Spencer Ritchie.
The next time in New York have a corner kick, if you can feel like a bigger view, both of their center backs get really, really high.
And then actually, it's not a goal kick, it's a free kick. So Spencer Ritchie was told to bring it just outside of the 6 and send it to the midfield. Not much of a difference there. Adi unable to get it, was calling for a foul and will not get it. And then FC Cincinnati will be called for a foul, much to the chagrin of the fans here. As Alan Cox arguing that Adi was wrapped up as he tried to receive that ball in the midfield. There's Hassan Nadam, 20-year-old defender, carrying on there with Adi, and that one's going to be a battle all afternoon. Nadam intercepted the pass that was intended for Adi earlier, maybe the best look today. Here's the tango in the midfield.
Two big guys going for it, not too much in it. And I agree with you, Tom. I think it's definitely going to be a battle throughout the game.
New York unable to keep it in on the end line. And now a goal kick for Ritchie. Well, a cool, damp day here in the Queen City. But the Bailey is rocking and hoping to project some energy into their club right now. And get FC Cincinnati back in this match, trailing by 1. Adi, a glancing header to send it forward, but nothing there.
I think the argument could be made as well. You talk about energy. I think FC Cincinnati just need to do what they have to do, which is slow the game down, make it a little bit bigger, and control it.
I feel like they haven't been able to do that at all so far.
No, I think they're getting caught up a little bit in New York's energy and kind of how they're trying to play. And right now, they've not been able to establish possession. They've not got New York chasing. And anytime that you're going to lose it, just like that instance there, New York are in a position to win the ball back always.
Fatai Alashe just took a foot to the face. He is down in a heap of pain. And let's see if we have the match's first booking of the day. Tim Ford will first check on Alashe. Aaron Powell will be called out onto the pitch. And now Ford is going to have a conversation on the near side. We'll wait to see the replay and how egregious it is. It doesn't look like there's going to be a booking on Aguinaga. Ford has not reached for his pocket.
Yeah, that's high. That's a yellow card for sure. Dangerous play. Aguinaga just raises his foot as well. It's different. If Fatai Alashe is bending all the way down to try to head that, kind of below, kind of chest height, and it's for a player for a game. But as soon as he raises his foot above his shoulder,
I think Fatai just asked him because he was face down trying to collect himself. He said that wasn't a card. It was not. Ford, I'm sure, warned Aguinaga, the Spanish midfielder. Now another opportunity for Ledesma to set something up. 28 minutes gone here at Nippert, and the orange and blue trailing by a goal. Ledesma with his left. Into the 18, not there. Sent back by Smith. Al-Badawi tried to backheel to keep it in play. New York looking to clear it. Alashe back into the match. thought about throwing it in quickly. Now we'll wait for right back Justin Hoyt to come over and do the honors. Al-Badawi, one of 4 FC Cincinnati players in double digits this season. Corner kick coming, clearly deflected off of New York. I was wondering what they were doing there, not playing that ball, as Lima just watched it go out on the end line. Second corner kick of the match for FC Cincinnati. It comes just shy of the half-hour mark. Chance of FCC from the Bailey. Ledesma on the corner. Right into the middle. Lasso doesn't get it. Cleared by New York. Headed back by Gibson. Over the head of Adi. Almost to Barrett. Adi again to Alache. Unable to do anything with it. Alache got a piece of Lima. And now Nadam jumps in the face of Alache, and things a bit tense here in the first half. Well, Nadam said this week he felt he was a better player than Fernando Adi, that he would be able to handle him defensively today. He's done a good job so far, but he's someone who came into this match with a chip on his shoulder and wasn't happy about this effort here. Fatai Alache is playing the ball.
Absolutely. He's got his eye on the ball, and that's usually the indicator too. If a player takes his eye off the ball, is watching the player coming in, usually that's intentional. That wasn't intentional. Kept his eye on the flight of the ball the entire way in, set himself up for a volley. There was contact, and it was strong contact, but they'll go back to that statement. Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
is your answer, right?
I think if you're a coach, your answer to your defender is, if you're going to say it,
you gotta back it up.
You better back it up.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement when you know you're going up against a designated player in Major League Soccer. Here comes the free kick for New York. Al-Badawi giving chase. I've said all along this has been a bit of a rivalry between these clubs in the USL.
Oh, over the last 3 years, for sure.
The all-time series is tied at 3 apiece. This is the last meeting they cannot meet in US Open Cup because the 2 teams do not play in Open Cup action. So they're gonna have to figure this one out tonight and break the all-time series tie. Of course, if it went to penalties, it would officially be recorded as a draw and be even all-time after 7 meetings. Alache trying to win it back in the midfield, unable to do so. Stroud. Over to the right, Tenari. Moreno back to Tenari. New York working in the attacking third. It falls to Tenari and then swatted away. And a foul is called on New York. Free kick will be taken by Ritchie. You think about it, first 3 matches in this series were won by New York. The last 3 by FC Cincinnati. Remember that first year?
Yeah.
There was that controversial red card.
Yeah.
In the game in New Jersey when Mitch Hildebrandt was sent off. New York won that one. Then they came here, won at the death in their first trip to Nippert Stadium. Then they thumped the orange and blue after the Open Cup run ended last summer in August. The team tweeted after that game, did FC Cincinnati want a piece of the PDL team? Certainly exception was taken. New York came back. It was 4-2 in September last year, and then FC Cincinnati won the regular season matchups 2-1 here. Alan Cox looking on with his team trailing.
I agree totally with you, Tommy. I think there is a little bit of heat between both teams, and it's been going on for the last 3 years. I think the lead up to today's game has been no different. For the sparks just to fuel the interest again.
Nadam moved the ball a good 5 yards forward. Tried to buy a little bit of an advantage on match official Tim Ford, who made him back up. Body Barrett heads it away. Then Ledesma's cut down. Barlow came over his back. Check it. It was Giannis with the foul.
I like that intent from Paddy Barrett too. Right now the space are in wide channels. Space also behind the back line of New York. FC Cincinnati just haven't been able to exploit that space yet. Maybe changing the shape. Adi hasn't had a ton of support. I think it's very important in that instance to try to make runs in behind the back line to spread or at least keep them honest. This is the first time they got behind it.
There's a chance. Corbin Bowen was offside, however. Third time in the first half, FC Cincinnati is caught with a flag up. Corbin will argue this one a bit to no avail.
Those types of runs, though, have to happen more often. Nazmi has to be a little bit higher to support Adi as well and try to make the timing right to get in behind.
Nope. Not Kevin, not Lindsay, not me. Nope.
Paddy Barrett giving chase to the near touch. Stroud thought about throwing it in quickly and puts it down and lets Giannis come over to do the duties. Barrett collides with Stroud. Moreno keeps it alive. Bone was there on the challenge. Then Alashe commits a foul, and I don't know about that one.
It's a foul, 100%,
okay.
But it's because if you watch the replay again, Moreno got away with a nudge in the back, very aggressive player. FC Cincinnati players were very upset. It wasn't called. That was a reflection. You can see Alashe, he's not happy at all, but because the referee missed the first call, didn't get to see it. Moreno just passed a little bit of a nudge in the back before that clip. Certainly a retaliation for that missed call.
Well, big moment for FC Cincinnati here in the 36th minute. Already trailing 1-0 and a free kick coming for New York. It was Aguinaga who was fouled by Alashe. Cutler on the free kick, puts it up over the frame. Had a good look at it, wasn't very accurate on the shot.
A lot of space, just how the wall set up. There's a big window for Cutler to try to bend that around. It was an open look for him. I would have liked to see the FC Cincinnati wall maybe an extra half yard inside. To see that space in between Ledesma and Tyler Gibson.
Ball comes over Adi's head. Ledesma turning, trying to play it, commits the foul.
Perfect. I got crowd and everything now.
New York very upset with Manu Ledesma, who's again going to have a conversation with Tim Ford. Of course, Ledesma was booked 11 times during the regular season. Served 2 one-match suspensions. Let's take a look at it. York was claiming Ledesma threw an elbow. There was nothing there. I mean, maybe a foul.
He had put his arm up, but there wasn't any power in it.
No.
But brings up a great point. This stage of the game, especially the second half as well, as intense as it's been, discipline has to prevail.
Kevin Paulus, the defender from Brooklyn, up the near side, headed down by Hoyt. Aguinaga forward in the direction of Barlow. Lasso got there first. Lima. Hoyt was hoping it would go out along the end line and then is able to hold off Stroud just enough and set up the goal kick for Spencer Ritchie. Both coaches have been all over the officials here in the first half. Tim Ford's managed it pretty well. Maybe missed a card on the high foot to the face of Alashe.
I think he's done a pretty good job, honestly. It's going to be a very contentious game. I think it's going to be very physical, intense. And that's not easy for an official either.
Al-Badawi off to the chest of Ledesma. Hoyt drops it back to Barrett. Same 11 for the second consecutive playoff game for Alan Cox. Barrett to Adi, goes over his head. Nadam was there. A little bit of contact. Adi jumped up looking for a foul call, didn't get it. And FC Cincinnati's going to have to battle to try to win it back. Alashe unable to win it. Aguinaga keeps it alive. Stroud over to the right. Across the middle, Spencer Ritchie came off his line as the flag went up. Barlow just missed on it.
You saw how committed Barlow was on that too. Sliding through it. Again, that kind of just represents how committed these players are. Ball comes across. Spencer ends up getting a little bit of a knock from that.
Blake Smith just misses getting it forward. Moreno again. Same thing you saw earlier, just putting an arm into the back.
He'll do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, 9 times out of 10, he gets away with it, too.
Well, he didn't there. The foul is called. And FC Cincinnati right in midfield will put it back into play in the 40th minute.
He does it all the time.
During this 24 straight matches undefeated for FC Cincinnati. I mentioned this is only the 8th time now that they have trailed since the start of June. They only trailed for 211 minutes in the previous 24 matches. They've trailed for 28 now here in this one. New York wanted a foul on Ledesma as he won it back on the tackle in the midfield. Not going to get it. Barrett. Looking in the direction of Ledesma, a bit too long. Adi collects. New York getting advantage. Working up the left side, Moreno. Lasso there. Moreno keeps it alive. Inside the corner of the 18. Moreno launches a right-footed shot. Spencer Ritchie will catch it.
Moreno again, he uses his body well. There's times that it's legitimate. There's other times that he gets away with some things.
John Woynick now yelling at Fernando Adi from the New York bench. Mano Ledesma just going for that header, landed in their dugout. And Fernando Adi just landed in the book. Now he's going over to John Woynick, asking why he's yelling at him. I'll tell you what, this has been a contentious first half. The fans here in the Queen City restless as their star striker lands in the book. No shortage of yellow cards in the first 2 meetings between these clubs. Tons of room on the right side for Cutler. Tenari. Back to Cutler. Deflected away by Bone. Forward for Adi. Nadam is all over him, and Fernando Adi is going to be called for the foul. New York's calling for a second yellow on Adi. That's not going to happen. But Tim Ford is going to talk to him. You see that arm coming around the back of Nadam. Nadam had his other arm hooked as well. Incidental contact or no?
I think it's 50-50, honestly.
Yeah.
I think both players are kind of pushing and pulling.
Nadam has certainly frustrated Adi so far. Forrest Lasso just got in the face of Tom Barlow. I think Lasso's going in the book. Those two were tied up on the ground, and Lasso was standing over Barlow.
I'll go back to my previous statement, though. Discipline has to kick in here.
And Tim Ford's going to have to rein it in a little bit and make sure that he has control of this match. Oh, Barlow's playing Lasso.
Well,
he's not playing the ball.
I think Barlow was tripped up, though, as he's going across. Just letting you know how I see it.
That's fine.
The contact, I'm sure if I was Forrest Lasso, I'd be just as upset, but I think it was accidental.
Well, Lasso certainly could not have seen that as Barlow was coming into him from behind. Barred on the challenge there on Barlow. New York keeps it alive. And a foul is going to be called on Al-Badawi. This match being called very tight.
I think what you said is right, though. He's got to reel it back in a little bit and start saying what's a foul, what's not, what's an egregious foul, what's not. So I think at some point he's got to start using his cards to calm this game down a little bit. I think lucky enough for FC Cincinnati, there's 2 minutes left. Win at halftime, regroup, and start a second half.
Lasso headed into the midfield, but it's won right back by New York. Stroud to the near touch with Hoyt in his face. Stroud trying to cross it. Hoyt deflects it away. Must have caught Stroud on the way out. Didn't look like it from up here. Goal kick for Ritchie. It is raining here at Nippert Stadium. On a chilly Saturday afternoon, Alashe trying to advance the ball. Ledesma over to the left side. Smith with a ton of room. Smith trying to beat the defender, pulls it wide, and Cutler played it perfectly, catching up to him. Gibson back to Lasso. Lasso in the direction of Bone, looking to give chase. Al-Badawi able to get there and keep it alive, but tried to backheel it to Bone, who had let up and didn't get quite enough of it. And Nadam was able to clear it.
Lucky with the attempt just on the back heel, but great run by Naz to get in behind that line.
Alashe up the right side. Ledesma will catch up. New York clears it out to the near touch. And it'll be a throw-in for the orange and blue in the 45th minute. Not a lot of good-looking scoring opportunities for FC Cincinnati in the first half. Can they set one up here before heading to the dressing room? Smith. Over to the right, Ledesma, and it just was a bit too heavy, skipping over his foot. Good intent there by Blake Smith. There will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Laurel, the goalkeeper for New York, a 1.59 goals against average. 4 clean sheets on the season. This is his 28th appearance of 2018. Aguinaga can't get it past Lasso. Ledesma tries to chip it in the middle to Adi, but it was short of the striker. Gibson turns in the midfield past Lima. Stroud. Smith. Now Alashe making the run. He is taken down. Tenari got a piece of him. Free kick coming. Bard will put it right to play. And Tim Ford.
That's going to infuriate Paddy Barrett. Great leadership by Paddy Barrett and recognition. Trying to play quickly. This is the original Farley game, but Paddy got the ball, trying to play quick. Made a good penetrating pass in. And just at Naz's feet.
More boos from the restless fans here at Nippert. Ledesma now will send it. Has Lasso on the header. He's offside. No shortage of frustration here in the first half for the orange and blue or their supporters.
You can just see just a yard when that ball's played in, offside. FC Cincinnati players, you can just see they're so hungry to get back into this game. I think halftime honestly can't come soon enough. Just a hit reset, a ton of time left to get back into this game.
Adi forward off the back heel of Ledesma. New York has it back in a working transition. Lasso.
Good tackle.
Won it back. He's waiting for a late whistle as he took out Moreno. Didn't come. New York upset about that. They'll have a chance to throw it in right in front of FC Cincinnati's dugout. Giannis will come over to take it. Of course, we'll hear from Alan Cox momentarily as each side heads into the dressing room. Over to the right side, Smith trying to get to it. There's a little bit of contact, no call. Then Smith clears it up the left side. Adi giving chase. His nemesis Nadam right there. Nadam is able to clear it, but it goes up into the stands. And FC Cincinnati may have chance to throw it in and be on the attack once more. Bone to Adi Al-Badawi. Just outside of the 18. Back to Bone. Corbin's onside. No, the flag went up. That was awfully close.
Very close.
And the halftime whistle probably just seconds away. And we will not get into the dressing room. Or I'm sorry, we will get into the dressing room. We will not have any more action before heading to the dressing room. 45 minutes of restless soccer in the books here in Cincinnati. 45 more to come. Lindsey Patterson is with head coach Alan Cox.
Coach, you can feel it down here. It's tense and physical first 45. It makes it difficult to get into a rhythm, but at halftime, you get the chance to regroup. What do you even tell them?
We have to be a lot better in the second 45 minutes, but obviously there's a lot of professionalism going out on the pitch. Call it manipulation, to be honest. You can see players flopping all over the pitch, trying to coerce the referee, and to be quite frank, it's working for them. So we hope that changes in the second 45 minutes. Then we'll try to focus on what we can control. Our performance has to be better, and it will be in the second 45 minutes.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Appreciate the time from Alan Cox. The orange and blue will look to regroup. Now trailing by a goal. Moreno the difference. It's been a feisty one. Our halftime coverage is next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. That'll be back at Nippert Stadium, where we are at the half. Back at Nippert Stadium, where we are at the half in the second round of the playoffs between FC Cincinnati and New York. How did the orange and blue get here? Well, they advanced in the USL playoffs for the first time last Saturday. Let's take a look back.
Anybody who's been around these parts for any length of time knows you can't be a Cincinnati sports fan unless you have experienced some heartbreaking, crushing, dramatic loss at probably the most important time of your season. That is what Cincinnati sports, unfortunately, has come to be known for.
FC Cincinnati and Nashville have met 3 times. They have drawn 3 times, and tonight we will have a winner.
Job now, go outside, race it, have fun.
Go boys.
Everybody mentally in it right away, positive energy, positive encouragement, helping each other problem solve together as a group. You get a chance to shoot, you shoot. Don't take any risks at the back. Skip plays if you have to. Let's go. Come on,
of it. Then Spencer Ritchie swats it over the crossbar. Adi trying to contribute here. Heads it over to Ledesma. Ledesma takes a shot and misses just wide. That's Ledesma. Takes a shot and hits the woodwork. It's the middle. Menzel takes a shot and Ritchie makes another save. 90 minutes in the books here at Nippert Stadium. Over to Walker. Shot. Corbin Bone. Does it again. Number 19 breaks up their feet. Bourgeois shot. Spencer Ritchie can't get to it, and Nashville has tied the match in the 124th minute. 4 draws this season between Cincinnati and Nashville. But gotta have a winner tonight, and this one's gonna be settled in penalties. Steps to the ball and puts it upper 90. The veteran steps to it and pushes it past Pickens. 1-1. Fan favorite Jimmy McLaughlin next to shoot. Slots it on the near side. Pickens though to his right. And it's 5-4 Nashville. Forrest Lasso with his left foot punches it past Pickens. Davis will hit it with his left. Goes high and sends it over the frame. Kenny Walker, the 3-year player for the Orange and Blue, has the chance to win it. Steps to the ball and scores it. Kenny Walker, FC Cincinnati, for the first time ever, has a playoff win. Nippert roars and the Orange and Blue will live another day. They are dancing in the Bailey tonight in the Queen City.
Unreal scenes at Nippert Stadium, Tommy.
Monkey off the back for the Orange and Blue. Monkey off the back for the city of Cincinnati. FC Cincinnati advanced on penalties 6-5. There's a lot of great competition around the league. Let's look back at week 1 of the USL playoffs.
He's gonna hit it. It's a great effort and it's in. Didier Drogba, the opener for Phoenix. JJ wants it on his left and he's got it. JJ is back. Asante waits for it. Solo, third. Phoenix on to the Western Conference semifinals. Looking for a shot. Corbin Bone rips it, and Corbin Bone does it again.
Right back to the middle. Bourgeois shot. Nashville has tied the match in the 124th minute. Goes high and sends it over the frame. Steps to the ball. FC Cincinnati has a playoff win.
Brown on the top of the 8, pushed it in the back of the net at the death.
Looking to set himself up for the strike is there. The Red Bulls take the match.
Brett looking for a runner, he has him, and a score! Nenko slides it through, here comes Moore, into the area, and it's in! Over to Holland, crossbar, and it's in! Will he strike it? He will, and it's in! Ray Lee, left foot, missed it, and Bethlehem Steel with a penalty kick shootout victory.
On the ground by Jimenez and ripped in. Louisville scores. Davis tries to clip it back across. Illich. McCabe, his best strike in all his years. Wall ahead. Saad gets one for Indy 11. Cameron Lancaster will try and get this in. Oh, he did it again. St. Louis crashing numbers. Ball gets through. C10, 1-0. Now another ball whipped in. C10. This is Quinn in front. Hat trick. Michael Seaton sets up Bierman. Bierman, 4-0. They are running riot in Irvine. Mirovic strikes first in the 16th minute.
Working it in. We'll send a hard ball in, and it's into the net. The game is tied. Cutting it back. Here's a chance for Barry. The number 2 seed goes down here.
leads FC Cincinnati 1-0 at the half. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference bracket and where we stand right now. Cincinnati and New York doing battle here at Nippert, Louisville, and Bethlehem. About 100 miles down the road. We'll meet tonight at 7:30. The winners will play next weekend and advance to the USL Cup Final. We'll step aside, take a break, and show you the highlights from the first 45 minutes when we return to Nippert. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Mountain Dew Kickstart, now available in 12 flavors. It all starts with a kick. Mountain Dew Kickstart. Welcome back to Nippert Stadium. Tom Glader alongside my broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey here in the Queen City, where the visitors, New York Red Bulls 2, lead 1-0 after 45 minutes of soccer. A frustrating first half to be certain, and the first half highlights are delivered by papajohns.com. When FC Cincinnati scores twice, you save on pizza the next day. Use code FCPizza50. And this chance set up by Moreno. The difference in the match, Kevin.
Moreno really has been a very effective player in the first half, and this is the strike. Has a ton of space, looks up. It's a good strike past Spencer Ritchie to get the scoring going for New York. This is another effort that Spencer this time is able to get to. Good save, follows up with it. Chance from FC Cincinnati. Ledesma, I think this is intentional, Tommy. I think he tries to catch the goalkeeper off his line with it.
There's been opportunities, and it's been a physical match as well.
Extremely physical, I think. New York have been very aggressive in their style of play. FC Cincinnati have gotten into those types of challenges. This is Moreno again, just being a pest and a menace in that first half. I think in the second half, I think he's a player that FC Cincinnati have to try to quieten down a little bit.
Here's the numbers from the first 45 minutes. 3 shots on target for the Baby Bulls. The possession about even. 19 fouls between these two teams. The third member of our broadcast team was in the dressing room with the orange and blue. Let's go downstairs and check in with Lindsay Patterson.
Yeah, guys, I actually snuck in about a minute early, and don't be surprised, Jamie McLaughlin was actually giving the early speech while the coaches were reviewing tape, and he told the guys, we got this, you just have to relax. Alan Cox told him, take a deep breath. Nobody's ever won the game at halftime. The back four, that's going to stay the same. They're getting destroyed in the middle, and in the second 45 with the diamond, keep it nice and tight. We have to control the game.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Both teams have made their way out of the dressing room and just about set for the final 45 minutes, or at least 45 more, as we saw last week. Not necessarily 45 more. They played 120 for the match last Saturday, with FC Cincinnati prevailing in penalties Took 6 rounds, and Kenny Walker's strike was the deciding one. Moreno got around Corbin Bone. Smith sliding in to tap it away.
Just looking at the FC Cincinnati lineup here, Tommy, it looks like they've changed into a 4-4-2 diamond. Ledesma in central, the partner alongside Adi. Midfield 4 then of Nazmi, Tyler Gibson, Fatai Alashe, and Corbin Bone.
Bone won it back, then lost it. Aguinaga. Gibson tapped it away. Forward in the direction of Barlow and then Smith. On the clearance, but New York wins it right back.
I think that's a positive change for FC Cincinnati as well. Got the handball there on that.
Aguinaga with a shot. Big save, Spencer Ritchie. However, Gibson not really able to clear it. New York keeps it alive. Lima, Smith and Gibson. Bouncing in the direction of Al-Badawi, and FC Cincinnati just desperately trying to win it back. They'll get the advantage of a foul. Here's the save by Ritchie.
Aguinaga gets a lot of power on this too. Ritchie reacts well. Very well struck half volley. But New York not wasting any time, coming out of the gun pretty quickly.
Well, you can see the change in the shape. Drastic. The 4-4-2 diamond now for FC Cincinnati. They used it a lot in the first half of the season, not as much in the second half when the 4-2-3-1 became the norm.
I think if you think back to the first half, FC Cincinnati really struggled to provide any support, any type of support to Adi. I think having those 2 central forwards, Ledesma and Adi, working together will certainly put the back 4 of New York under a little bit more pressure.
Bone to Smith, who will work up the left side. New York's defense closing in. Up to Adi. Poked away from the orange and blue striker. Then Bone trying to get back to it. Good energy from FC Cincinnati out of the dressing room. Gibson can't get it to Al-Badawi. Barlow with a nice touch. Over to Moreno. He had the first half goal in the 12th minute. Moreno inside of the 18. Across the middle. Aguinaga had a great look and wasn't able to do anything with it. Al-Badawi trying to get it going in transition and didn't get enough of it. New York to the right, Moreno.
I think a guy like Moreno, I think FC Cincinnati's defense has got to be a little bit tighter. Giving this guy too much space. He's going to take it. We saw it in the first half.
This ball bounced onto the hands of Spencer Ritchie.
I think a big key, we'll talk about that here in a second after we watch this replay. Moreno, again, a lot of space. I think you've got to get better pressure on there. Aguinaga just at the top of the box too, unable to get control of it. We're just talking about the key of this system too, changing into this. Both Blake Smith on the left-hand side and Justin Hoyt on the right-hand side. As fullbacks, got to get high, they've got to get wide and provide width. It's going to be very, very tight in midfield with those 4 playing centrally. And you have to be able to support it with width.
Stroud intercepts the pass that was intended for Hoyt. Sends it across the middle. A big-time tackle there by Forrest Lasso as the ball was headed for the foot of Barlow. Gibson unable to clear it across midfield. Then Alashe can't advance the ball in New York on the attack to the final third. A shot and another save by Spencer Ritchie, who's under fire. Aguinaga keeps it alive. Across the middle, Lasso nearly deflected it towards the goal. Moreno collects it. Into the middle, Barlow. Lasso straight up into the air. New York with a flurry of opportunities here. Bone trying to create the other direction. Ledesma into the middle. Knocked away from Al-Badawi. It looked like Paulitz caught it with his arm. Moreno to the middle. Bard intercepts.
So here's the key to just what I was talking about in attack. With FC Cincinnati, Justin Hoyt getting wide. Both fullbacks getting wide. In transition, the 2 center backs, though, are going to have a lot more space to try to cover. Tyler Gibson has got to step back. He's got to be able to be that screen and protect.
Here's a run from Hoyt. Sends it over to the left. Right to Ledesma. Great ball. Ledesma at the corner of the 18. Gets around a defender. Sends it into the middle. Fernando Adi takes a shot. And Lauro makes a huge save. What a ball from Manu Ledesma, best opportunity of the afternoon.
This already showing the benefit of these two players playing close together. They've got skill and understanding. Great ball in, picks out Adi. You've got to say, Lauro there comes up big with that save.
Lasso in the midfield. Over to the left, Smith. Lauro started one of the games against FC Cincinnati this season. And Scott Levine in the other. Al-Badawi into the 18. Al-Badawi around a defender. Rips the shot. Lauro makes another save. Didn't have to make a save in the first half. He's already made 2 in the second.
Great feet by Al-Badawi again. Good understanding. So far the shape change I think has worked. Starting to find dangerous players kind of in those half spaces. Good balance, cutting back inside on his right foot. And again, another good save by Lauro.
The Bailey on their feet after that effort. Adi chasing the ball right at the top of the 18, and the touch just a bit heavy. Lauro will bounce it a few times as the Bailey providing energy here on this damp, chilly Saturday. Smith is fouled by Moreno. Bard will take the free kick. Remember, FC Cincinnati trailed in the second half of the match that started this undefeated streak. They trailed 1-0. Brian White missed a penalty kick, and it was game on after that. 2 goals, 1 from Ledesma, 1 from Danny Koenig, who remains in Denmark taking care of his family. And FC Cincinnati hasn't lost since. In danger of doing so right now, but lots of match left. Bard up the middle for Adi. Adi with heavy defensive pressure.
Great strike. But again, just that width that Justin Hoy changes the game totally for FC Cincinnati. Now you've got New York chasing a little bit more. Just got to be careful in that possession. You can't give New York these types of transitional moments. That's what they want.
That's how they scored in the first half. Moreno, the goal scorer outside of the 18, works it to his right, takes a shot, bounding up to Barlow, who appeared to be offside. No whistle. FC Cincinnati has to pay attention defensively. Lasso is going to come flying into Moreno. Free kick for FC Cincinnati.
It's just interesting that the referee let that go on too.
Yeah.
Barlow's in an offside position. Talk about the deflection possibly, but he's in an offside position when it struck.
It was a heated first half, and I expect that will continue here through the second. 54th minute, FC Cincinnati trails 1-0 at home.
Much better.
Bone to Al-Badawi. Nadam stands in his face. Al-Badawi over to the right. Hoyt has some room. Hoyt at the corner of the 18 sends it back. Has Ledesma off his chest. Ledesma with 2 defenders on, wipes out one, keeps it alive, sends it back. Corbin Bone is there, turned away by New York.
It's gotta hurt.
There'll be a stoppage in play as they come to their feet here at Nippert Stadium.
I think every fan in Nippert Stadium recognizes now the difference in this system, what it's brought as far as energy, starting positions, natural width. You can just start to see the confidence building in these players.
See the ball there defensively. Caught Ethan Kettler in the midsection. We've all been there, Ethan.
That's right.
He's going to be given some time to catch his breath with the Bailey chanting FCC right above him. And a throw-in coming from the far touch. Hoyt off to Al-Badawi. Nazmi trying to keep it alive. Alashe in the direction of Bone. New York wins it back and clears it into the midfield. Bard gives chase and regains possession. Gibson to Smith. Adi will call for it on the left side. Adi across the middle. Cleared by New York again. Moreno will collect. Forward in the direction of Barlow. Spencer Ritchie will come way off his line wisely. Barlow put a little shoulder into Spencer Ritchie.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Spencer read that very well. Understanding Tom Barlow's pace as well. Came off his line quickly.
Barlow was probably there, but you're absolutely right. Ritchie knew that he had to get there. Barlow closing in. 23-year-old is quick. Loudest Nippert Stadium has been all day right now. Moreno working his way, trying to feed it to Barlow. Deflected, but right back to Moreno. Now Smith clears it into the midfield. Tenari. Stroud dribbling into the 18. Pulls it wide. Alashe giving chase. New York with some space on the attack. From the left side, Al-Badawi sliding in to deflect it. Corner kick coming for the Baby Bulls. They'll come from the far side to the right of Ritchie. New York looking to extend their lead on the corner kick to the far post. Ledesma's there defensively. Aguinaga trying to keep it alive. Handball inside of the box on New York.
You said in the first half, and I totally agree with you. I think the referee's done a good job with as intense this game is, how physical this game has been. I think he's called it very tightly, but for the most part, I think he's gotten it right.
Ritchie into the midfield. All of Alan Cox's subs warming up in earnest if he feels there's the need for a change. Over to Barlow, just missed off the tip of his toe and out on the end line.
I think an important thing, obviously, we're starting to see improvement in attack from FC Cincinnati. The shape has been better. However, defensively, they can't give up that second goal. It kind of just kills that momentum. I think just when they lose the ball, they've got to get back quicker. They've got to delay. Because we've already seen it, New York are so clinical on that break.
Hoyt up the right in the direction of Adi. Pollitt's got there first, then Alashe with a deflection. Gibson. Barrett. Over to Smith. Moreno will pick up the ball with some space on the right side. Smith has to retreat. Catches up to Moreno, who slows it down, sends it into the middle. This pass was wide, and FC Cincinnati regains possession. Lasso trying to get it forward for Ledesma. New York wins it. Moreno's pass to Aguinaga was too strong. 60th minute at Nippert Stadium. Tom Gallarder, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson with you. Hoping it's not our final broadcast of the year. Gibson slides it behind Justin Hoyt. New York continues to press as Barrett forward for Al-Badawi. It's funny, during those 24 matches, undefeated. Fernando Adi, a chance here. Adi missed it, then able to regain control into the 18, and well defended by the visitors.
Yeah, just one of his touches, didn't go forward with it, kind of got caught underneath his feet. It's a great chance by FC Cincinnati.
Ledesma in the direction of Adi. And Giannis got there first to shield off Adi, and it goes out on the end line. I was saying during the 24 matches, there's been nights FC Cincinnati has been off, not played well, but somehow, some way, during all of those 24 matches, they found a way, sometimes in convincing fashion against Atlanta 5-1. Sometimes on a poor day against Penn FC, 1-0. And you have to believe over the next 30 minutes there's going to be chances for the orange and blue to find one, tie the game. And they're going to have one of their veterans coming on, Kenny Walker, to try to boost that effort.
I think you're right. I think character time and time again is showing up in those crucial moments. Again, we go back to the experience. It's no different than this 11, and obviously this guy that's about to come in, Kenny Walker, what they bring.
Walker provided a huge spark in the match last Saturday against Nashville. Assisted on the goal by Corbin Bone, and of course had the penalty kick to win it. He will replace Tyler Gibson.
Into the game for FC Cincinnati. Number 6.
You see Fatai sliding back in the diamond now, and Kenny going wide, or Kenny managing down at the back of the diamond.
I think Kenny probably most likely drops into the bottom of the diamond. You see here just as he comes on. I mean, Alashe is very dynamic. He can cover ground. If you have him a little bit higher, he's going to break lines. Kenny Walker at the bottom of the diamond gives you a little bit more in technique. His distribution is good.
First, FC Cincinnati has to get out of their defensive third before they can worry about their attack. That ball deflects off of Alashe. The winner of this one gets the winner of Louisville and Bethlehem Steel. They play at 7:30 tonight. Walker wins the ball back. His first touch of the night comes out to the midfield. Bone, nice header to find Ledesma near side with some space. Ledesma trying to curl it into the middle. Adi has Hoyt wide open far side, doesn't know it. Walker will find him.
Yep.
Ball takes a deflection but still gets to Hoyt. Justin will send it back heavy. Ledesma's able to track it down. Manu over the head of Adi, bounces out to Hoyt. Hoyt in the middle, Bone back to Alashe. Good patience.
Much better. Just again, I think Alan's message at halftime was spot on. Just take a deep breath. The adjustment obviously in the shape has helped, but I think the decisions now from the players I think has been a lot better.
Lasso with a great ball to find Hoyt. Hoyt into the 18. Nadam got there. Alashe intercepts the clearance. Alashe up to Bone. Aguinaga. Stroud will run left to right for New York. Cuts it across the middle to Moreno. Now the pass behind Aguinaga. Had to run over and try to keep it alive. Did just that to Giannis. Usual 3 substitutions available during 90 minutes of regulation. And of course, as we saw last week, you get a 4th if it goes to extra time in the playoffs.
Just see how this game has just opened up.
Ledesma on the right. Manu with his left foot. Feeds it over to the head of Al-Badawi. His touch a hair heavy, but Nazmi does well to retreat and keep it alive. Now he gets around Moreno. And then Moreno pokes it away. Blake Smith into the middle. Adi didn't get to it. Giannis will push it to the far touchline.
And now New York are under the cloche a little bit here. They're a team that's not used to kind of defending so low.
Bone with a nice header to get it forward to Adi. I think it kind of caught him off guard there as it was deflected away. Smith throws it to the end line. Ledesma into the 18. New York's there defensively. Lasso.
A couple of times Ledesma has whipped the ball in. Adi's just been behind that first defender. I think the timing now for him, he's got to get in front of that defender in the front post if he can and attack it. There's definitely space. Ledesma's finding the space. Now Adi's just got to get the timing of that run down.
The 12th minute goal from Armando Moreno. The 5'7" native of New Jersey, his 11th goal of the year. It is the difference in the match. Ledesma's taken down, and a great spot here for the Argentinian to set up a free kick. Ledesma scored in the match. on June 2nd in New Jersey. That was in the 65th minute. The likely USL MVP trying to set up an equalizer here. Ledesma with his left to the far post. Lasso was there with the header. And a goal kick for New York as the redirection went wide.
Another positive moment in this half. Ledesma puts in another wicked ball. Forrest Lasso gets up well. Just unable to direct it at the goal. But again, piling on the pressure.
Interesting that Lauro doesn't take the goal kick here. You don't see that very often. It's Kevin Pollitt's the 6-foot defender who sent it out into the midfield. New York with some space here. Tenari working to the right. Now switches it into the middle. Shot and it goes just high. Ritchie read it well. And boy, oh boy, Jared Stroud, who had 7 goals during the regular season, just missed.
Yeah, those are the moments you can't get caught sleeping. You can't get too caught up in the attack as well. As soon as they lose the ball, they have to be switched on. And you know, really that New York are going to attack this space very aggressively.
Adi off his chest. Ledesma tracking it inside of the 18. Corner kick coming as it was deflected away. Ledesma's going to hustle over. FC Cincinnati will quickly push the center backs inside of the 18. Plenty of targets here for Ledesma. Can he find some of his magic here in the final half hour? Ledesma with his left foot inside of the 18, headed away by New York. Bard keeps it alive, falls with the foot of Corbin Bone. He launches the shot, and Laurel makes a massive save. No, they'll say he didn't touch it. It went high.
It's a great strike. He watches it. He hits it with his left foot too. Ricochets off. Great technique. Just hits off the crossbar.
Caught the woodwork. I thought Laurel got a hand on it. Bone scored last week and nearly tied the match. Wonder if Laurel's feeling tight. Nadam just took the free kick on the goal kick.
He's actually limping, so I think you're right.
Kevin, we've been doing these games together for 3 years. I think those are the first 2 goal kicks I've seen taken by an outfielder.
You can see him just in his box.
Limping.
He's limping.
Ledesma to the final third. Rips a shot and it goes just wide. He had Al-Badawi closing in far post and he nearly snuck it inside.
Well, you can see Lauro on your screen there just limping. You wonder if Ledesma or any of these other forwards have picked up on this as well. Instead of a cross in it, that's a shot.
Ooh.
Goalkeeper again, he's going to be a little bit limited. We're going to see it here from this goal kick. I think it's time to continue just to turn up the pressure, try to change gears here, and take it to this New York defense.
The backup goalkeeper for New York today is Scott Levine, who started the June 2nd match, giving up 2 late goals to FC Cincinnati. That was actually Levine's Baby Bulls debut back in early June. Now in the 70th minute. New York on the attack, leading by a goal. Cutler sends it in. Lasso boots it away. Tenari to Cutler. New York, chance to catch their breath in the final third. Moreno. Bone putting on pressure, unable to win it back. Cutler to Tenari. Tenari puts it off of Blake Smith. It stays in play, and Smith to the midfield.
Very good defended by Blake Smith.
Walker with a bicycle kick. to get it into the midfield. Adi tracking back as it ends up back with New York.
Good tackle by Kenny Walker.
Ledesma has Al-Badawi making a run, nearly deflected off to him. New York did a nice job getting back defensively. Stroud in the midfield. 20 minutes of regulation remaining. FC Cincinnati in need of a goal to equalize here at home. They lost just twice during the regular season at Nippert Stadium, both times to rival Louisville City. You know the orange and blue want another chance at Louisville. The only way they get that is finding a way to advance here today. That ball skipped past Adi on the throw-in. New York, meanwhile, has been to the Eastern Conference Final the last 3 years. They were champs 2 years ago. Nadam forward. Smith turns it the other direction. Al-Badawi gonna send it wide to Hoyt, a little bit behind him, so he had to slow down. Did a good job there to not allow New York to win it back. Al-Badawi, 2 white jerseys on him, can't do anything with it. Today's match brought to you in part by UC Health.
Good tackle by Corbin Bone.
Corbin Bone completely held up by Armando Moreno.
Just another display of that.
Yep.
Professionalism, gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it. Corbin
and there's the yellow card.
Yeah.
Yellow card warning issued for Red Bulls team number 20, Armando Moreno. Number 20,
Good timing
Moreno.
from Corbin here, just on that. You can see it just pulling back.
Looks like Nadam is cramping. And Ledesma is going to be over to help him stretch out as Moreno lands in the book in the 72nd minute. Lasso will take the free kick in the midfield. Be interesting to see if Nadam comes out, because he's been a handful for FC Cincinnati. Nadam comes out and Lauro maybe dinged up a little bit, might open up more opportunities for the orange and blue. Anatol Bong has come to midfield to check in and be the first sub for New York. Adi on the header. Ledesma trying to get to it. Nearly bounced to Corbin Bone and cleared away by New York. A Bong a forward, so unlikely that he's coming on for Nadam, the defender.
It'll be a risky move.
Yes.
Wallenek just to bring his centre back over, and so far he's kept Adi somewhat quiet.
Lima into the middle. Spencer Ritchie does a beautiful job holding that ball. That would have been a corner kick because it took a deflection right there on the end line. Linesman was there to read it. Barrett trying to push it forward for the orange and blue. Adi giving chase to the near touchline and can't quite get there. Throwing for New York after their first sub of the night.
Substitution into the game for New York, number 16.
Anatol Bong will come on, and Moreno, who was just booked, checks out. Moreno's been a handful for FC Cincinnati today as well.
He's been a handful. That's interesting. He's coming off, like you said, has the booking though.
New York just advanced the ball 3 or 4 yards. Now a few more steps. And then they'll be allowed to throw it in from the spot they advanced it 5 yards. Walker. Forward, and New York unable to keep it alive. Throw in for the orange and blue at the cusp of the attacking third. Nadam shoves Ledesma to the ground, then helps him up. Boos from the Bailey wanted to see a foul call.
There's a push.
I mean,
there's certainly a push. An extension of that left arm as well, Nadam's. Certainly trying to get in the head of both players, Ledesma and Adi. So he's getting some abuse by the Billy here, taking his goal kick.
No, Nadam taking a while to put it back into play, much to the chagrin of Alan Cox. Barrett is knocked over by a Bong who just came on. Barrett pushing to midfield. Desma touched it down for Bone. Lima got there first. 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at Nippert Stadium. Do the orange and blue have some magic left in 2018? Barlow to the 18. Kenny Walker with a big stop defensively.
Again, that's just impressive defending. He's in a position too where he's got to be careful. He can't press too high and kind of overcommit. Just stays kind of in that shooting lane.
Aguinaga. Tenari. Back heels it, finds Stroud. Stroud to his left foot. Lasso on the deflection. FC Cincinnati trying to get going in transition. Al-Badawi pushed it past Ledesma. Here's the defensive play from Kenny Walker.
This really is a 2 versus 1 opportunity. Kenny does well, just a delay. Barlow has an opportunity to cut it back, decides to shoot instead, and Kenny Walker gains in the right place.
A bong. Turns it inside of the 18, takes a shot, and Spencer Ritchie deflects it wide. Forward from Cameroon had a good look. Spencer Ritchie's been really good again. He was last Saturday, got beat early in the 12th minute, but he's come up with some big saves in other spots.
I think, on that goal too, there's not much he can do about it. I agree with you. I think he's been excellent again tonight.
If you're looking for a glimmer of hope, FC Cincinnati fans, FC Cincinnati has not been held scoreless much at home this year. Not really at all this season, but at home just twice. Lasso takes a knock as he sends it out across midfield. Barrett to the right side, Ledesma off his head. And it doesn't quite get to Hoyt. Walker steps in for a deflection. Lachey. Barrett misses Lachey. Then New York sloppy the other way, and Barlow won't get to it. It'll be a throw-in for the orange and blue. Jimmy McLaughlin to midfield. Brought energy when he came on last Saturday. Certainly will do that here. Do you see that switch for Lachey?
I think it's the one that makes sense, really. I think Corbin Bone and Nas so far are contributing a decent amount in the attack. Lachey's done well though, covering ground. I mean, defensively, I think he's played his part for sure. But obviously, given the scoreline, you've got to push forward again and kind of roll that dice.
Stroud on the cross. Lasso heads it away. Certainly tense moments right now at Nippert Stadium. The regular season champs trailing by a goal. Aguinaga across the mouth of the goal, nobody there. Hoyt will run over to try to throw it in quickly. Well, he won't be able to do it until after the sub is made, and it's actually Al-Badawi coming off for McLaughlin. The extra time goal last week set up by Jimmy McLaughlin to Kenny Walker. Walker gave it to Bone, and FC Cincinnati took the lead before Nashville equalized, and then the orange and blue advanced on penalties. Right now they just need an equalizer. Adi gets the ball from Bone. Sends it forward. Adi inside of the 18. Looking to cut back. Flanked there defensively by Cutler, who did a good job not to give him a look. McLaughlin gets his first touch. Jimmy back to Blake Smith. Smith into the box. It bounces through and just misses Fatai Lachey. It was not touched by New York, apparently.
It's interesting because I think if Lachey had known that, I think he could have kept it in.
Absolutely.
He decided to leave it for the throw, but regardless, it gives FC Cincinnati now a chance to kind of pin New York in this corner.
Ledesma to McLaughlin. headed in the direction of Bone, broken up by New York. Barrett heads it back forward. McLaughlin will collect. Jimmy will turn it back into the middle. Lasso. Smith has some room near side. Smith will cross it. Doesn't get to Adi. Headed away right back to Smith. Tried to send into the middle. Walker was closing in. Didn't get there. A bong, Tenari, and New York will rush the other way. Bard on the challenge. There with a bong 50-50. A bong keeps it alive. Then a bong goes down to the field. Paddy Barrett is livid.
Yeah.
And a big win there for New York.
Paddy looked like he stood his ground as well. It's a good ball here.
Called for the tug on the jersey, maybe. The Irish lad not happy with the call. '82nd minute at Nippert. Orange and blue desperately in need of a goal. First they have to play some defense. Headed away on the free kick. And it'll be a corner for New York. Everybody back defensively for the orange and blue. The undefeated streak began with the Baby Bulls. Now New York trying to end it here on the road and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 4th consecutive year. Tenari on the corner from the near side. Tenari will send it. It was backheeled. Comes outside of the 18. Possession kept by New York. Tenari with Walker in his face. Tenari sends it into the middle. Bart turns it away. But collected by Giannis. To the middle of Bong. Out to Tenari. Tenari takes a shot, nowhere close. And Ritchie will waste no time getting off a goal kick. Got to find a way to put Laurel back under pressure.
Yeah, I think they've just got to get a way of getting more numbers into the attack here. There's not going to be a lot of opportunities left, so they've got to make the most of it.
Adi to Smith. And his return pass for Adi is wide, throwing for the Baby Bulls. Emery Welshman, an attacking option, is in the dugout with his kit top on. Appears he'll be the 3rd sub in regulation for Alan Cox. Walker trying to win it. Bong just kind of sat down on the ball, and Kenny's going to be called for a foul. See Emery there getting his instructions from assistant coach Yohan Dame. You knew coming in it wasn't going to be easy against New York, a well-coached side who has given FC Cincinnati fits at times over the last 3 years. The series tied at 3 wins apiece. The Dom to the right, Stroud. Goal kick for Ritchie. 6 minutes plus stoppage remaining. The hopes of a USL Cup championship on the line right now for the orange and blue. Bone heads it to McLaughlin. Back to Smith, over to Lasso. Barrett. Center backs working it back and forth, and now back to goalkeeper Spencer Ritchie. Walker wins it off his chest. New York certainly not showing any signs of fatigue right now. Barr to the right, trying to look at De Hoyt, intercepted by the Red Bulls. Aguinaga with Walker on his back.
The biggest thing for FC Cincinnati, of course, we've talked about trying to get numbers forward into the attack. They may get 1 or 2 chances, Tommy. They have to be clinical. That's going to be the difference in the quality. If they can Got to make sure that they make the most out of that 1 or 2 opportunities and hopefully put the ball in the back of the net, send this thing to overtime.
Well, here's an offensive sub for Alan Cox. Blake Smith, his left back, comes out. Emery Welshman will come on, so you're taking out a defender for a forward.
I think they're going to go into either a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, just depending kind of the positions here. I think of Ledesma. Adi obviously is going to stay as that central target. Looks like Jimmy's come across over his left wing back.
Forrest Lasso will come over to find out exactly what Alan Koch is looking for. Sub for New York as well, Jordan Scarlett, 6-foot defender, comes on. So FC Cincinnati will put in a forward, and New York will counter with another defender here for the final 4 minutes plus stoppage time. Barrett trying to get it to Welshman and his fresh legs. Bone can't win the header. Alashe, Bone, and now Welshman. Welshman will send it across the 18. Goes over the head of Adi. McLaughlin trying to track it down. He does. Back to Lasso. Barred at midfield. To the right, Hoyt. Ledesma goes over his head. McLaughlin is there right at the edge of the 18. New York wins it back, and now will look to clear. But they push it out, a misfire, and a throw-in inside of the final third for FC Cincinnati comes quick.
Certainly not wasting any time here. They've got enough pressure, enough options in that attack. It's going to be able to try to find him.
McLaughlin, corner of the 18, pass for Ledesma, misses, bounces out to Walker, deflects off New York, and here we go, corner kick in the 88th minute and an opportunity. You talked about the opportunities being clinical. Here's one of them. Kenny Walker can be so accurate on corner kicks. Does he have one in him here?
I think Kenny Walker's certainly going to put it on the plate for one of these FC Cincinnati players. Is just being able to execute that.
Walker from the near touch. Softly sends it. Lasso found it with his head and pushed it wide.
And that's one of those chances. It's clear. I think Forrest Lasso does well just to get up. He's hanging in the air. He's just not able to redirect it. Not so close.
Forrest Lasso scored in the match here at Nippert Stadium back on July 21st, a 2-1 victory. Now the possibility of maybe just minutes remaining for FC Cincinnati. Here in 2018, Lasso wins the header at midfield. Sent on by Manu. Nadam got to it before Adi, but Corbin Bone comes flying in to win it back. Doesn't get it in the middle to Welshman. New York the other way. Barrett. Alashe and back to Lasso. Great ball to Adi. Off his chest to the attacking third. Tried to center it to McLaughlin. Nadam is there to answer the bell again. Lasso touches it to Walker. Now Alashe to the left in the direction of Welshman. Doesn't get there. Barlow to the midfield of Bong. Barrett heads it. Walker to Bone. Bone nearly got it to McLaughlin, but again, Nadam was there.
And again, the space right now for FC Cincinnati is just behind that line. They've got to get into a wide position to create the angle to serve. It's been a few straight passes, but New York are very compact at the minute.
New York certainly packing it in defensively. Walker has Alashe flying up the left side. Fatai will catch up with it. Into the middle, McLaughlin. McLaughlin with a sliding tackle was turned away by Paulitz. Corner kick coming in the 90th minute as they come to their feet here in the Queen City. And Nadam is down. And they're going to bring the medical staff out with a chorus of boos.
It's going to be tacked on at the end, obviously in stoppage time.
They're saying right now a minimum of 4, and they just changed it to 5 with Nadam going down.
Yeah.
Giddy up, partner.
Listen, 5 minutes is a lot of time in this game.
Never wanted 5 minutes to feel like an eternity more. Nadam cramping. Now he has to come off because medical staff came out to him, right?
Yeah. He's got to come off. Dangerous time, obviously, with a corner kick.
It's their biggest defender.
Given Loro as well, just with his health, I would play tight on him if I'm Forrest Lasso. Get as close to the goalkeeper as possible.
Walker on another corner. It'll come in stoppage time. Bounces out. Ledesma is there. Switches it to his left. Takes a deflection. New York's able to clear. Now New York has numbers back the other way. Welshman racing to try to get there and help. Stroud back heels it forward. Now Stroud is down, grabbing his thigh. FC Cincinnati's not going to wait for him to get up.
New York down 2 players at the minute.
McLaughlin to Adi. Deflects off of New York. Adi's going to race over it and try to get the corner kick off. Nadam hasn't been signaled back on. He's going to try to go on the field anyways. Now he will. And I believe the player down for New York is asking to come off the field. New York does have 1 sub remaining. Remember, 5 minutes of stoppage time can go beyond 5 minutes. With these moments with New York begging for clock to run a little bit more.
We're going to call this Fergie time.
Fergie time, yeah.
Very well known, obviously, Manchester United coach Alex Ferguson. All of his successful teams at United scored very late. They used to call it Fergie time every time they scored injury time.
The fans and FC Cincinnati frustrated right now, to say the least. Walker waiting to take the corner kick. New York trying to get the card in to make a sub. And I think they're going to get Stauffer into the game. I believe that's Stroud.
Tries a little bit of a flick.
Yeah, Stroud. I mean,
yeah,
there's no contact.
That's bad. That's bad.
Well, when he races out onto the field to congratulate his teammates in a few minutes, hopefully he doesn't get that opportunity. Walker on the corner. FC Cincinnati in need of an equalizer. Walker sends it. Headed into the air. Welshman far post. Laurel punches it away. It'll be an orange and blue throw-in from the far side. 3 minutes of stoppage time already gone. I would imagine there's 3 more left. Ledesma doesn't normally throw it in, but you have Hoyt providing preventative coverage. New York wins it back on the throw-in. Now the Baby Bulls a chance to waste some time. Stauffer. Barlow. Ball bounced towards the corner. That's perfect for New York. Stauffer. He'll hold it there on the far touch. FC Cincinnati has to find a way to win it back. Last time FC Cincinnati was held scoreless was their second to last regular season match, October 6th at Pittsburgh. Last time they were held scoreless at home was the last time they lost, May 26th. 5 months and a day ago. Here's a chance to win it back. Lasso. Deflected away, but it'll end up with Ritchie. We're told there'll be at least 2 more minutes of stoppage time. Headed on to Adi. Adi battling with Nadam. Punched out to the near touch, throw incoming. It'll go to Adi and be sent right back to McLaughlin, then out by New York. No, it deflected off McLaughlin. New York gets to throw it in and let the clock continue to roll. The Baby Bulls on the cusp of a massive upset on the road. McLaughlin sends it to the right. There's Hoyt. Hoyt over to the left side. Lasso heads it. Lauro catches it awkwardly and then goes down to the turf. Nadam is down again. Lauro is slow to his feet.
Can't imagine there's probably a minute and a half left. Max is his header. He's just too far out though just to get any power to trouble Lauro. I think there's maybe one, maybe two chances left for FC Cincinnati.
Welshman off the ball from Walker. To the left in the direction of McLaughlin. New York breaks it up. Walker will race over to throw it in.
Pump this ball into the box here from Forrest. Don't waste any time on it.
Lasso's going to give it back to Ritchie. Ritchie will punch it forward. In the direction of Alashe. Foul on New York. A flag went up. FC Cincinnati was offside. New York going to be in no type of rush to take this free kick. Maybe 30 seconds left. FC Cincinnati in need of a miracle. At home where they have not lost for 5 months. Nadam. It'll go past everyone. And a goal kick for Spencer Ritchie.
This will be the last chance.
See how much rope Tim Ford gives FC Cincinnati. Ritchie into the midfield. Headed away by Nadam. Lasso sends it back. Ledesma is there. Adi battling for it. Fernando Adi is taken down. No whistle. Full-time whistle at Nippert. And the hopes of a USL Cup come crashing down for the orange and blue. New York advances to the conference final for the 4th consecutive year.
Tough moment for everybody inside the Nippert Stadium. Obviously
shock.
Disappointing. Yeah, we're certainly in a state of shock. In second half, I think the players threw everything that they had at it. First half ends up being a difference in the game with that goal.
The 12th minute goal from Armando Moreno. The difference in the final USL match for FC Cincinnati. Funny to say. Lindsey Patterson is with Alan Cox. Let's go down to the pitch.
Coach, you knew tonight wasn't going to be easy, and the postseason runs earlier than you wanted it to. But it's hard to reflect and look back on what a special season this was tonight, because you had the opportunities but just couldn't capitalize. How do you reflect on it?
Postseason soccer is completely unpredictable, obviously. There's so many different elements of it. And I don't think we're at our best tonight for the full 90 minutes. I thought we were a lot better in the second half. And we always preach to the guys, control what you can control. You can control your performance. The other variables, officiating, how the opposition tries to, I call it professionalism and manipulation, how they try to get under your skin and try coerce certain things to happen. You don't control that. You got to focus on yourselves. So very disappointing with the first 45 minutes. A lot better in the second 45 minutes, but if you don't play for a full game and playoff soccer, you leave things to chance, unfortunately. We don't have time to take ourselves out of the equation right now, but when we do, obviously we know this has been an amazing season. We built on something. We've had a fantastic season, but tonight is a very, very bitter pill to swallow.
You have a chance to talk to your guys back there, and I know it's hard to look back right after a loss, but what do you tell them about this season?
It's been historic. Obviously, tonight's very, very disappointing, but this has been a historic season. Obviously, we've won the league. We've broken records. To do that in our last year in the USL, if you had offered people what we've achieved this year before the season, people would have jumped at it. So it's been an amazing season. As disappointing as tonight is, it definitely is, of course. But we'll move on. Now we get to prepare ourselves for next year, of course. And we've done a lot of work to get ourselves to where we are right now. And this is not the end. This is disappointing tonight, of course. And we'll put it behind us, unfortunately, and then get ready for the next one.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsey. Great job tonight and all season long. You can see the disappointment on all the faces of the FC Cincinnati players as their 2018 comes to a close. Tonight's moment of the match is brought to you by Toyota. And Spencer Ritchie kept FC Cincinnati in this match, Kevin, all night long.
He did. You know, I think, again, it was another good performance, excellent performance from him. We saw it last week against Nashville. And again, tonight, I think he was the difference in really that scoreline. When you talk about losing 1-0, it could have been more. New York certainly had some good opportunities, and Spencer Ritchie again brought to the call, and he was fantastic.
Third loss at home this year for FC Cincinnati, fourth of the season. And you can see the emotion from Manny Ledesma, somebody who cares about this team so much. I don't think it's the last time we'll see him in orange and blue. We'll step aside, take a break, come back, reflect on 2018, show you the highlights, and wrap things up for the last time this season. Claps for the fans as FC Cincinnati heads into the dressing room. Your final score, New York Red Bulls 2 wins, 1-0 on the road. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. FC Cincinnati making one final lap of the pitch in 2018 as the orange and blue fall tonight 1-0 to New York. Tom Glitter, Kevin McCloskey back with you to wrap up our final broadcast of the season and our final USL broadcast. Let's take a look at tonight's highlights brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. And it was New York, the strike in the 12th minute. Mondo Moreno set it up for himself, and it was the difference in the game, Kevin.
Yeah, took advantage of this space, just opens up. It's a great strike by Moreno just to put New York up ahead, end up being the game-winning goal as well. New York, again, very aggressive in the attack. Spencer Ritchie answered the call many times tonight. Came up with some big-time saves. And FC Cincinnati didn't have a ton of open chances. This probably was the only clear chance, I think, of the game for FC Cincinnati. And credit to Lauro, came up with a big save.
Badawi had a look here, got around the defender twice. Lauro made a save as Nosby tried to go near post. There was plenty of chances. That one hit the post, and Corbin Bone nearly tied it.
Great technique again by Corbin Bone, just to hit it with his left foot. This is the ball in by Ledesma here. That's a shot. It's not a service. Tries to test Lauro at the back post. Again, Spencer Ritchie answers the call.
Oh, you see the Bailey saluting the players as they head in. And certainly tough for the fans right now as they watch the players head in. We'll talk about what it means for FC Cincinnati moving forward. Some of those guys are walking into the dressing room for the final time.
Yeah.
Some of them will be back there again next year. Some of them know that. Some of them don't know what their future holds. And that's hard. It's hard when your season comes to an end, and it's hard when you don't know what next year looks like, because with Major League Soccer looms, that's exciting, right?
Yeah.
FC Cincinnati is now officially done with the USL. They are moving forward.
From an organizational standpoint and a team standpoint, I think it's very exciting, right? You know, you've got the MLS ahead. It's going to be a very interesting offseason of kind of building for that and getting that roster. As a human being, though, I feel very strongly for some of those players that aren't going to be coming back, and that's tough. And there's probably some players that don't know. You know, they're kind of in that.
I think there's probably a lot.
They're in that kind of in-between stage. They don't know if they're going to be coming back here, going to another franchise to play. But listen, it's part of the game. It's professional soccer, right? And that's part and parcel of that. I think no matter what, you've got to look at the season as a whole. It's been very positive. Some of the records, again, being fantastic to see. They've set a USL unbeaten record, which is that's tough to cap. But you've got to look forward. Many exciting times. The fan base this season has been fantastic, so credit to them. Tip my hat to them as well, and they'll be back and ready for more MLS action next season.
Folks, March, FC Cincinnati will be back here at Nippert Stadium. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait for it. I know it's disappointing tonight, but it's been a heck of a year. Our regular season championship, 23 wins during the regular season, and nothing to be ashamed of for the Orange and Blue as they see their season cut a bit short here today. Once again, our final score from Nippert Stadium, 1-0 in favor of the Baby Bulls. It's been a pleasure bringing you 3 years of USL soccer. For my broadcast partners, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson, our producer, David Ashbrook, I'm Tom Gletter, saying goodnight, and we'll talk to you again sometime really soon. It's been a blast in 2018, but it has come to a close tonight. So long for the last time this year from Nippert Stadium.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.